Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining. Welcome to our second lesson of From Zero to Jenkins Master sessions. Before we start, any questions regarding previous assignment? Any difficulties with completing your home tasks? Yeah, and by the way, thank you for everyone who have submitted the screenshots of your Jenkins. Great job. Continue same way and move forward. Any questions regarding previous topics? Yes, CJ. No question. Okay. So then let's move forward, and I will give the stage to Artyom, and we will start our second lesson.
Okay, hi guys. Today we are continue our Jenkins journey, and let me share you my screen, and we'll move forward. Okay, so in the previous lesson, what we did, we installed, we ran some virtual machine, for example, in cloud or on premises. My IP address is this one, and if I go to this IP address, I can see Jenkins that is up and running, and let's log in. And our plan for today's lesson is to get familiar with pipeline itself. Pipeline is a core point in Jenkins, and first of all, to be able to run pipeline, we need to install special Jenkins plugin. For example, when we were building test project, it wasn't a pipeline project. When we click a new item, here you can see that we can run only freestyle project. It's quite a simple one, and we will not be considering this option in our lessons. So let's remove this project, and we need to install a plugin to be able to create our first pipeline. So we are going to manage Jenkins plugin and choose available plugins, and let's look for pipeline. No. So the first pipeline plugin looks like what we are going to install. Let's have some check. Actually, this pipeline plugin has URL as workflow aggregator, and we can choose this button and install without restart. When we choose to install any plugin, usually there are lots of dependencies in it. It has to install a lot of them. Okay, a plugin has been installed, and I would suggest to click button Restart Jenkins when installation is complete, just to be ensured that all plugins are installed correctly, and also we will check that Docker Restart Always option is in action. While it is restarting, I would like to say that there are few ways how to install a plugin. First of all, we can just download this plugin, how to install button. And there are three options from user interface. It is what we are doing now. Then from CLI using Jenkins plugin CLI, and we can just download this file and use it in Jenkins. And then upload it to Jenkins. Okay, here we go. Jenkins has been restarted. So now we should see that one more option is available. If you click new item, yes, now we can see that we can choose pipeline. Let's call it simple pipeline, sample or simple pipeline. And click OK. So now I would suggest to use the most simplest pipeline you can choose. It looks like this. So what is happening here? This is a description of our pipeline. This line means that it can be used on any agent. We will be talking about it in the upcoming lessons. And then there are three stages. Stage build, stage test, and stage deploy, like in the real scenario. And from the all the steps are the same. We just would like to look how does it work. And for example, let's add one more command, sh id, just to show a user what user is used inside Jenkins. Okay, so once again, I will repeat 3 stages: build, test, deploy. Every stage is the same. It's just making some bash scripts like echo, date command, the ID command, and sleep for 1 second. Click save. And build now means that this pipeline is going to be built and all the command will be executed now. Let's look what is happening. There is a button console output, and here we can check what is happening on our system. So let's look at it quite carefully. First of all, we're running on instance Jenkins. We are running in this directory, var Jenkins home workspace simple pipeline. It's a place where this pipeline is built. Then building application step, our command date, it shows the current date, the command the ID, it shows us user Jenkins. It was I was talking about it at the lesson 1 when we were changing ownership of the directory, and here we can see that yes, we are using Jenkins with the ID of 1000, and then sleep for one time, then testing application stage and deploy application stage, and pipeline is finished with a success code. Okay, now we have our first pipeline, which is working. One more thing which I would like to show you about pipeline syntax. There is a special feature inside Jenkins. It's called pipeline syntax snippet generator. It could be used for some reasons. If you are not familiar with syntax of pipelines, it could be helpful. For example, there are lots of events which can be done. For example, a shell script was used in our pipeline. If you choose it, there will be a shell, and shell script, for example, echo hello. And if you click generate, here will be a code for your pipeline. If you choose something more difficult, I don't know, let's choose something. For example, mail. If you would like to send a mail to somebody, for example, test@test.com. Okay, subject test. And we click generate, and we are receiving the code which will be working in Python. Okay. I would suggest now to show you that what will happen when pipeline will not be working correctly, and I would suggest create new pipeline and did something wrong inside this pipeline. New item, pipeline. Let's name it a sample pipeline with error exit status. And there is an option, a copy from. No such simple pipeline. New item, copy from. Okay, now we can see it. And here is the new name, sample pipeline with error exit status. Okay. Now let's use the same pipeline code, but for example, I would like to add some error here, and let's do it. It's the stage build. This is the exit code 1, and let's look what will be happening. Save and build now. Let's show output log. here you can see that this pipeline has been failed, and from the console output, okay, we can see that something went wrong on the stage building application, and all other stages test deployed were skipped due to earlier failures. Okay, and here is a Java code, and here is the status failure. So this is how a fail looks like. Let's continue to explore Jenkins, and let's check where our pipeline is running on inside Jenkins. I would suggest to create new pipeline. It could be called sample pipeline with point work directory. Here in the pipeline script, we were using the same code, but I would suggest to add one command, point work directory inside it. That's HPVD, and it would be interesting to check where it is running. Okay, click save and build. It is built quite big because I removed sleep timer and console output. Yeah, and we can see that we are running Jenkins pipeline inside var Jenkins home workspace, and this is the name of our pipeline, just like here in the status. So now we know that we are running our pipelines inside a special directory inside workspace. This special directory is called as the pipeline name. And now we know that we are running a pipeline with the user Jenkins. So what next? Now we need to do something very, very useful with our Jenkins. And I would suggest you to create one more virtual machine. And for example, it will be a production server with some application installed and running. It will be application on Golang language. And let's create a new virtual machine. For example, CentOS. And I will choose the simplest one. It will be called prod application. I will use my SSH key and create. Now we are waiting a little bit while this instance is provisioning. Okay, it seems it's up and running. Let's go to console. Yes, the instance is ready. It is a new instance with a production application. And first of all, we need to install Go on this machine. Yum install Golang. Okay, let's create a directory simple /app. And if you are comfortable with Golang, you can write your own application, or you can ask Chat GPT about how to run simple web application on Go. Or you can choose this one. It's the simplest. So this application will be show us a hello CI/CD, and it will be listened for the 80 on this machine. Sorry. Let's call it web app Go. And the next step, we need to build the application, Go build and point a file on the Go. It is built, and now I'm going to run the application. Okay, if you don't know what this, why I use, how to say, this special character, it's just for running application in background. Okay, now our application should be running. Let's show IP address and check. For some reason, it is not running. It could be due to firewall. What if you do curl to localhost? Yeah, okay. We are not going to look at firewalls. We can just see that our application is working on the localhost. Or we can also see URL to IP address. Okay, it is working. I suppose there is some firewall on the CentOS machine, but it actually doesn't matter. So now we have up and running our production application, and let's move on to our pipeline. And First of all, we need to build our application and be sure that it will be built without any errors. And if our application has been built, it could be then called to upcoming tests and deploys. First of all, we need to build our application inside Jenkins. So now let's change the stage, build stage, to this code. Stages. Let me tell you what it means. Stage build now consists of some steps. This is steps just showing that we are running building step, and then create this code inside the web app Go. So we are just making a file with our application. Let's click Save and build. It should be failed because we are not installed Go inside Jenkins. You can see that, okay, it has been failed. So we need to install plugin, or there is another options. We can install Go application in Go language, but we can use plugins because it's quite easy. As you know, we are going to manage Jenkins plugins, available plugins, and search for Go. Let's check. Actually, it's named Golang. It is what we are going to install. And let's restart. Okay. So once we installed Golang plugin, we should do some special magic thing. Let me show you. We click to manage Jenkins, tools, and looking for Go installation. And as you can see, there is no installation yet. We need to add Go and choose a name and the version. I would suggest you to use version 1.19 and to name it also 1.19. Okay, and click Save. Okay, now going to pipeline. And we need to say to define that we are going to use Golang inside this pipeline. It could be done this way. Tools, and we say that Go and the version on or name of the tool. Okay, let's click save and build. It fails. Something wrong. Let's check. Suppose we should add this below agent. Okay, let's check. It also failed. There is some error in the syntax. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, let me one moment to check. Okay, just to not look into the issue, let's copy paste it once again. It looks the same. Okay, let's try. Let's solve the console output. Okay, now something is happening. Okay, now building application was successful. Let's have a look. First of all, we were unpacking Go inside Jenkins. And then there is our command, which is building application. And I suppose the application was built successfully. At the next step, we need to run a test of our application. And how to test application? We can do the same what was we doing in our production server, just use CURL utility to localhost, for example. And if there is some output, it means that application has been running successfully. So let's move to pipeline and edit it. So now we have build stage. It is working correctly. And now we need to edit stage test. I would suggest the following code for stage test. This step, we are running application, which and then we are running CURL to localhost, and if the response 200 okay, it's okay, and otherwise the exit code 1. Exit code 1 means that it fails. It's like it's Linux exit code. So let's try. Let's click save and build. Okay, it's clean. The build was successful. Let's look what has happened. So again, we built our application, and then we were running testing the application, CURL to localhost, get response 200. Let's imagine we made a mistake in our code, and let's do it. For example, we were programming and we made a mistake. What mistake? I don't know. Maybe we have a mistake and use another port. And our application expect different port. Maybe 80 we expect, and we by mistake change port to maybe 81. Let's test it. You can see failure because we were checking to the localhost port, standard port, and we can see response 30, but actually we got some other kind of response, but it's response from the CURL, and we have the exit code of 1. It means that the command was failed. So that's great. We'll change it back to a working solution port 80, and here is port 80. I would ask, do you have any question on this point? If somebody have a questions, you're welcome to ask. No, okay, let's move forward. I would like to show you one more option how to build and run the pipelines. Let me show you. We are going to install quite popular plugin, which is called Blue Ocean. Maybe you have heard about it. It's just for your information. There is a lot of stuff is going to be installed. Okay, and let's restart Jenkins. Okay, here we go. It's loading. So we have installed Blue Ocean plugin, which allows us to show at our pipelines at a little bit different way. Now we see our pipelines with sun and clouds, and sometimes it's raining. And there is another way to look at our plugins, to use the URL blue organizations Jenkins pipelines. Here is a completely different view of the same pipelines.
Let me jump in for a second.
Okay.
The reason why we are showing this plugin to you is some organizations are using them, some projects using this view, this plugin in their Jenkins setup. And so you should be at least aware that Jenkins may look like this as a blue ocean view, and more like traditional view that we were showing to you previously. So when you come to your project and see blue ocean, you're not surprised. You don't have a thought similar to like, what these guys just show me is not Jenkins, this is Jenkins, and vice versa. Be aware that Jenkins might look different. And in fact, you can install even more plugins that will completely change your Jenkins experience. And it might be that Jenkins in one organization is completely different from what you'll see in another organization, what is different from third organization, and so on and so on.
It's just web interface, how it's look like, but engine is the same. And here we can see our simple pipeline which we were running, and here statuses, and here you can see how it is going to build, test, deploy stage, and we can run it once again just to be sure how it is looking. And now you can see that it has been built, test, and deploying. Everything is the same, but looks like a little bit different. And we can move back to our tradition view. Okay, these are the same. I suppose we have finished the lesson. Let me show you one diagram. This was our scenario for this lesson. We were using one Linux instance for Jenkins. We were using another Linux instance for Go application. And inside Jenkins, we created Jenkins pipeline. And inside pipeline, we have done build stage test. At the upcoming lesson, we will be talking about a deploy stage, how to deploy our code to a production environment. So that's all for today.
Before we finish, any questions? If there are no questions, thank you everyone for attending. Thank you, Artyom, for this demo, and talk to you on Monday.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you everyone.